Where's McGarrett when you really need him? So after that false incoming missile alert in Hawaii, launch notifications will now require verification by 2 people. You'd think that would have been in place already. And maybe a warning that prompts you to double-check a message before it goes out. I mean, when I want to delete an email, I'm asked, are you sure you want to delete an email? And that's for an email, not a state alert telling people they're about to die. And here's a thought. Maybe don't have the menu item for incoming missile so close to one that says just testing. That's like having the kids' trampoline next to a wood chipper. This screw-up cannot be overstated. Imagine if it were you, your family, being told you were all going to die. And for 40 minutes, that's your reality. Then someone comes along and says, oops. Now, my wife was there in Hawaii. She saw mothers sobbing uncontrollably, realizing that they would never see their kids again. She watched families saying goodbye. And yet the press is already back to the swear word. What a contrast between real terror and phony posturing. The same people who report this missile accident with such restraint just days ago were melting over S-hole. When the press conference in Hawaii hit, we took it live. CNN ran a repeat interview with Michael Wolff. A repeat. Maybe if that false missile warning had S-hole in it, CNN would have gone wall to wall. It's disgusting that event that led mothers to place children in storm drains is of less interest to the press than a crude phrase uttered in a meeting. But I guess if you can't blame the usual villain, then why bother? Oh, wait, you can.
Our leaders have failed us. Donald Trump is taking too long. He's not taking this threat seriously, and there's no time to waste. We've got to get rid of this nuclear threat from North Korea. We've got to achieve peace, not play politics.
Play politics? What did she just do? Her state's warning system screwed up, and now Trump has to make his geopolitical calculations based on that? No, how about setting up a system that doesn't terrify people for 38 minutes? And then you can take part in the conversation. Until then, fix your own backyard. This infuriates me. If this had happened, Dana, in New York City, the media would care. The media would care. Instead, they've already moved on about the most ridiculous things.
Well, certainly anything that happens in New York gets overcovered.
Yes.
We know that. Sometimes it's warranted. You would think that people would like an opportunity to go to Hawaii to cover a story. Thankfully, it was a false alarm. And I think it really did expose a lot of the holes in the system.
The system.
So that's good. And I also think that it showed holes in our own family planning.
Yeah.
I mean, right after 9/11, there was a big push. Was it called Ready.gov? It was part of the Department of Homeland Security. And there was a big advertising push, too, to talk to families about having a plan, that if something happens, this is where we are going to meet up. This is how we're going to get together, whether you need to have cash, whether you need to have, like, some sort of protection, enough food, enough water, things like that. And we've really gotten away from that. And this was a big wake-up call for people, including me.
Well, you know, Jesse, this is a wake-up call. They've reassigned the worker. They didn't fire him. But they got to do something with the entire emergency management system of Hawaii. They must.
They have to fire more than one person.
Yeah.
For me, this is about a big government screw-up. They screwed up, so instead of saying false alarm, they didn't have anything ready to go in the script. They took 38 minutes to come up with this. Are you ready? There is no missile threat or danger to Hawaii. Repeat, false alarm. It took 40 minutes for them to cook up that tweet.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that. And they don't fire anybody. They reassign them. What does it take? It basically caused mass hysteria in a huge state, and the guy gets reassigned. So the party that wants bigger government is okay with this. They screw up so big in the state of Hawaii, don't take any responsibility for it, compound the screw up, and then the Democrats want to give government more power over people's lives. They want more power over health care, more power over your life, more power over your business. This is the reason why we don't have big, bloated government. This is the exact reason.
It's amazing. You know, and about that 40 minutes, Kimberly, they claim that they were waiting for an approval for their retraction. But according to John Roberts...
How stupid is that?
FEMA didn't need authorization. They knew 5 minutes this thing was not real. They made people's lives hell.
Yeah, well, obviously they have to really revamp and retool the system, and don't think that the rest of the states right now are in like scramble.com mode to say, what can we do to make sure that we don't end up looking like Hawaii and have a major problem, because this is like really unacceptable. And I don't like when somebody gets sort of rewarded by, like, oh, we'll just reassign you. Usually it's to a better job position or more money or something. It's like ridiculous. But this is a serious issue of national security, and people were in complete and utter chaos and panic. Like you said, your wife was there and saw it.
So lucky
firsthand.
I wasn't there.
You would have been.
What would you have done?
They would have had to tranquilize him.
No, you know what? I would I'm the guy in
With
the
an
movie.
elephant
I'm the
gun.
guy in the disaster movie that people slap. Remember?
Wake up!
Wake up! Knock it off! They would be slapping me.
God, I can't wait for this.
Yeah, cold
Sign
water.
me up. Sign me up.
Yes,
I'll put myself right
my
next
wife,
to you.
She would have seen the worst part of me.
I'm sure she's seen it already.
Yes, exactly.
That's true.
That's what we've heard.
That's true. One, I felt that Tulsi Gabbard made that leap to North Korea. A very political leap. It had nothing to do with North Korea. It had to do with their incompetence. You got to focus on the incompetence. You don't immediately jump and blame Trump over his relationship with North Korea. That is absurd.
I don't think it's absurd.
Well, explain.
Well, that's where the threat comes from.
The threat was their incompetence.
No, the threat is that North Korea is 4,500 miles.
They didn't hack in and do this.
Hawaii. And
Yes.
so everybody wants to deal with the source of the threat. You can talk about, this was badly managed. And I agree with Jesse 100%. If you knew within 5 minutes that it was a false alarm, why did it take you 30 to 40 minutes to tell the public? You got
Trump's
to do a
fault
better
there,
job.
too, right? Trump's fault?
No. But I mean, you just like anything to defend Trump. But I'm just saying.
No, it's anything to
I'll
damn
tell
him.
you,
That's the point. This is so huge.
No, it's not. Let me just tell
It's
you
not?
something.
I would love to see you in
Let me tell
this.
you something. What you see here is that Trump didn't take it seriously. So you should be screaming at Trump, because Trump never, ever responded to it. And in fact, one of the complaints from the people that you loathe, Jamie Lee Curtis, Montel Williams,
we'll get to that.
Jeff Wright,
We'll get to that.
all those people are saying crickets. Nothing from the President of the United States
now
about this threat.
Now you want him to respond emotionally. I thought that's what you don't like.
I think he should respond as President of the United States, and one of the states.
Let's do
just
that. I
had
think we have
people-
a sound on tape of Donald Trump responding, don't we?
Oh, my God.
Well, that was a state thing, but we're going to now get involved with them. I love that they took responsibility. They took total responsibility, but we're going to get involved. They took responsibility. They made a mistake.
There you go.
Yeah, so
There's
you
his
can see his concern is, don't blame me. Wasn't me this time. That's his concern, as opposed to expressing even some of your outrage over either
Your
the mistake.
sense of priority and proportion is so off, it's disgusting. Dana?
Well, I wasn't going to comment on that. I was just going to say that the question about the concern about it being a hack, I think is a very real one, right? So cyber terror is something that can come in lots of different forms. We couldn't even conceive of all the forms that could come in, but our responsibility, either state or local government or even the federal government, is to try to be more creative than whatever a criminal or a hacker might do. Because if you have panic like that leads to an accident, whether it just be because people crash into each other on the highway trying to get out, or something much worse, including retaliation, then, you could lose a lot of lives for nothing.
Yeah, let me, Juan brought up some of the single-digit IQ celebrities like Jamie Lee Curtis and the odious Jim Carrey, who should just go away, go far away. Let me quote Jim Carrey. Of course, what does he do? He blames Trump. Says it was a false alarm, but a real psychic warning, because he's really deep like that. He understands psychic warnings. We allow this one-man Gomorrah and his corrupt Republican Congress to continue alienating the world. We are headed for suffering beyond all imagination. So clearly, Kimberly, he's mentally ill. Here you have a system that failed its people, and he goes after Trump. This guy has got serious problems.
Oh, are you disturbed that there is no causal or logical connection to the event and Trump's derangement syndrome?
Yes.
Aha, I see. We have a Flintstone vitamin for you then, Greg. So, this is what's happening. But at what point are you going to be not surprised and nonplussed by this? So you're going to say, this is what they do, and if there's any way to try to connect it. That's why he went out of his way, POTUS, to say, I'm glad they took responsibility for it at the state level. Nevertheless, we're going to work cooperatively with them on a national level to make sure that these types of things don't happen. Okay, so he tried to button it up. Nevertheless, they're saying this is President Trump's fault. and they want to characterize it and mischaracterize it as the most reckless presidency and dangerous presidency in the history of the world, right? I mean, that's the whole approach.
Let me
Curtis.
just say, this is the same guy who was insulting Kim Jong-un, who we all think is on edge anyway.
And that caused
so he calls him Rocket Man. Then he says, oh, no, you know what? My button is bigger than your button. Talk about infantile. Talk about making the whole world think.
That has nothing to do with the emergency management system flaw.
That's
Is
not
this guy
infantile.
president
That's
of the United States?
junior high.
Is he able to understand his power?
He wouldn't have let this happen.
Oh, no. We're talking about a far more serious threat than some government guy making a mistake. We're talking about destroying people.
It's the largest example of shouting fire in a theater, and you don't think it's a big deal. That's ridiculous. That is hilarious.
I didn't say it wasn't a big deal. What I'm saying is the bigger deal is if North Korea actually fires a nuclear weapon at Hawaii. And if you don't understand that, you're the one that's
I understand that, but we're not talking about that. What you're trying to do is you're trying to create a different context.
No, I'm not.
We're focused on this.
President Trump himself was very careful to say it was the states. He's talking about the state.
Yes.
And what you heard from Christian Nielsen yesterday on Fox News Sunday, she said it was an unfortunate mistake. That's all it was.
Well, I feel much more safe under Commander-in-Chief Trump than I would under Commander-in-Chief Obama. But I want to ask you about these. Isn't it clear? I don't think President Obama did anything to denuclearize the peninsula.
I mean, it works.
On the celebrity thing, it's so funny. So they blame Trump for someone pushing a button in Hawaii. Chelsea Handler blamed Trump for the wildfires in California.
Of course.
Jennifer Lawrence blamed Trump for the hurricane because God was mad at his election. And Lena Dunham blamed Trump for her weight loss.
Yes.
So anything bad that happens, it's Trump's fault. But if he does anything good, he doesn't get any credit.
She should have credited him for the weight loss, by the way. By the way, Yogurt for Brains, Jamie Lee Curtis said the Hawaii missile scare is on you, Mr. Trump. You. The real fear that mothers and fathers and children felt is on you. This does no help for the people that were panicking at that time, is putting it on Trump. You know what this is? This is self-serving peacock preening. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Shut up and eat your yogurt.
That looked like a cry to help. Actually.
Exactly.
That was when you're using all caps and you're like 50. Nothing.
She has other issues with the filming of True Lies that she should be focusing on instead of this. Google that, people.
Oh, here we go.
Ahead. No. Did you hear about the True Lies scandal?
Hit the T's.
All right. Everybody knows what I'm talking about.